So how did you come along with that extra deck idea? Because that just blew my mind that you told.
Okay, I mean, it's less spectacular than what I thought. Because people said like, "Oh, this list is crazy," but at the end of the day, it's just like not playing an extra deck to avoid getting zone locked is like not the craziest idea. It's just that I think particularly Flunder can't really do it. I feel like Prosperity is way too important for this deck, but I will say I think Flunder is actually in a little bit better of a spot than you might think, even though it's still not very good in my opinion. Like I think Flunder has a reasonable Kashtira matchup, funnily enough, because of a few very notable interactions. For example, when your bird gets banished by Fenrir or a Rysart, they actually will not be banished face down. They will be banished face up. The reason that is because the Flunderbirds say when they leave the field, they are banished instead. So a Rysart or Fenrir are trying to remove them from the field, and then they get banished by their own effect. So they actually end up being face up in your banished pile. On the other, in addition to that, if you might think that the Arise Heart reattach is annoying with the Flunder grind game, but for example, you go tribute 2 birds for Empen. Arise Heart will be Chainlink 1 because it's mandatory, and then you can just attach, you can activate the birds as Chainlink 2, 3, 4, or whatever to get them back to your hand. So it can be annoying that they attach your shit with Arise Heart, but you can like deal with it. So I actually think the Kashtira matchup for Flunder is actually not that bad, surprisingly. But it's still it still has the same problem as before, which is consistency, right? I would argue that if the Flunder hand plays, it's actually a very strong deck right now. But that's the problem, right? It doesn't. Very often, it just doesn't. Especially since people are always on Ash right now. People are on a lot of imperms right now. So I think there's a lot of stuff that speaks against Flunder. Besides, like, it's just Flunder. Flunder is, I think, not a terrible deck right now. Especially without statue, I actually don't even hate it that much. Like, I hate the fact how like they always play so long on your turn. It just annoys me for some reason. But other than that, I actually don't hate Flunder, as like I don't think it's super toxic anymore without statue. But I just don't think it's that strong either. It's like okay, I guess. Like if it doesn't break, it's pretty good. And like the fact that it doesn't care that much about the Rise Art, the fact that it doesn't lose to certain hand traps that people are playing, like some of them, but like for the most part, I think it's not that great. It was also not terrible.